Good. So most of you got it right. However, just to get it one more time. So, wait a moment. Oh, okay. So how we can measure a volume of fluid in such complicated vessel as our own body? Just for all of you to grasp the problem. Why we have such problem? Because when we have such simple thing like this flask, we would just check what is the volume of fluid by measuring its height, yes, and the surface area of its base. It would be so simple, and we will get the volume, yes. But how to get the volume of all of our blood vessels in the body, yes, with the extremely complex geometry? How we would get the idea what is the average length, yes, what is the average size, average lumen, and remember that it's changing from the person to person and from the day to day also to some extent. So the only reasonable way how we can measure it is by the indicator dilution principle. How it works? It works very simple. We add known amount of the substance to the volume of fluid. In this case, we are thinking, for example, about our blood. This substance needs to keep in the fluid. So, for example, if you want to measure the amount of blood that we have in our organism, it needs to stay in blood for some time at least. Then, after some time, we give some time in order for diffusion to happen. So the concentration would get progressively everywhere the same. And then we measure what is the concentration. The bigger the flask, yes, the more the blood we have, the lower the concentration. The smaller the flask, the smaller amount of blood, the higher the concentration. Because imagine, when you have a cup, the barrel of water, let's say, and you would get 1 spoon of sugar into it, the sweetness would be barely recognizable generally, yes. If you would have only the glass of water and you add the cup of sugar, yes, it would be very sweet. So the concentration depends on amount of the substance that we add, but it's fixed, it's always the same, yes, and on the volume of fluid. So by knowing the amount of substance that we inject, by knowing the concentration, we can count easily the volume. This is the idea behind this principle.